Hello, people. Welcome again to a simple class today. Pay attention to yourself and start to contemplate. Just be relaxed. Today we have a soft class. Less integration, more contemplation. Good. Contemplate the idea of peace. Contemplate the idea of being calm. There will be a form of mild personal growth, of course. Remember the feeling of being impatient. The more we do personal growth, the less impatient we are. What is the feeling of being impatient? In being impatient, there is something we want. It is too easy to say, I want just to have it faster. Or, I don't like it when I'm not in charge or in control. That's easy. That's the intellectual stuff. We just learn program response. We need to feel what is the impulse that makes us impatient. It will be different for everyone. Yeah, it will be very different. And you might have multiple causes of impatience. So even just with yourself, you might have different origins of impatience, depending on the situation. So let's just relax, take it easy today, no intensity. Focus on the feeling of being impatient. Hopefully not impatient with this class, but when you are impatient. Try not to intellectualize why. Just get in touch with it. What's the flavor? Emotionally, you will gain much more information about the true cause of your impatience. If you patiently savor the feeling that actually rises. Now, you will also see a tendency to go back to your intellect and quickly interpret, oh, it's this, it's that. Let's be patient about it. Just the feeling. Just the flavors of the impulse of impatience that rises. You will taste, metaphorically of course, flavors you might not have expected. If we too quickly interpret intellectually the cause of our impatience, we won't really resolve it, so it will come back. It takes practice with the masks of the ego to feel which denial is present. You'll feel emotions, but which denial? Pride, shame, or fear? Even once you've found it. One contemplation I did about impatience. I was impatient this morning with a game of cards, so it's ridiculous. But I was impatient. Come on, move on. I had to step back. Oh, I'm impatient. What's the flavor? The first denial was pride. Come on, I'm better than them, than the opponents. It was a flavor, but still I persisted. Calmly, give him time. And fear rose. What? Fear? I was not entertained quickly enough. So the fear of loneliness was my true motivation. So that's just to give you an example. Intellectually, I would have found anything that is inaccurate. Quickly as a feeling, pride. Yeah, I just think I'm better. They're not doing quick enough. It seemed to be pride. But I took patience between two games. What is the true flavor? Give it time. And fear rose. I would not have thought that. I was not entertained quickly enough. Fear of loneliness was my motivation. That's to give you examples. So now let's contemplate impatience in general. And the more personal growth we do, the better we feel inside. And the more kind we are, but also the more confidence we build about ourselves. The ego will use this confidence, it will use our positive confidence, start to make us feel better than others. Comparison will come back again. We're human. If in the past you felt like a bad person in some areas in your life, now you feel like a good person, feels nice inside. The competition, I'm better, could rise. And that means impatience could also resurface. Find it. What's the feeling of impatience? What is your motivation? What is the flavor? And we give it time. Just to be available. Is there anything else even deeper? So on any layer of discovery that you have, feel it. Is there anything deeper. Of course, your intellect is involved, but let it interpret your feelings as they really rise, rather than conceive stuff too quickly. The intellect is essential in the process. Let it interpret what really rises. That takes time. And if you found it, just stay in it. Give yourself a chance to do the integration. The world is not fast enough for us. When will the isolation stop? When will the quarantine measures go away? When will we stop wearing masks in public? Or if you play Magic the Gathering like me, come on, entertain me faster. Stop thinking. So egocentric, narcissistic way of playing. Give yourself a chance to find your own impatience. Feel it. Stay in it. There is a deeper layer. Something else. The where potentials are built inside. You will feel one. It's the surface. And quickly, as a normal human, oh, I found it. Of course, you found something. What is the first layer? Potentials usually are not alone. There are multiple potentials. And once you found something, because we're in a hurry to resolve it, oh, I resolved it. Finally, I'm done with impatience. I was just proud. Then it comes back again, of course. Potentials rarely travel alone. When they arise, you'll have a superficial potential. This one is more often a denial, but it could be an emotion. There's another below, which is usually an emotion, but it could also be a denial. You have to give yourself a chance to feel it. And once you've gone into deeper layers, patience is key. What else? It will be more subtle, but it will be more terrible. A more critical part of you as a person. Something that composes you deeply. So you give yourself a chance. All right, what is this subtle thing that I can't even identify, but it's there? It's when you dilute the flavor with water. It's harder to taste it, but it's still there. Give yourself a chance. And it will teach you about you. The main focus is impatience. What next? What next? Let's talk about two styles of impatience. I probably would classify it in three, but let's start with two. There's the momentary impatience, and there's the permanent impatience. Temporary impatience, momentary, is the one that rises one shot, then it's gone. It is triggered by an event, and when the event is over, the impatience goes away. Waiting in line in a restaurant. Once you're seated, finally, and you're not impatient anymore. These are temporary. There is an impatience that is permanent. We are so used to it that we don't even realize it anymore. It's the subconscious part of us that is constantly waiting for something. The man or the woman of your dreams. The job of your dreams. Or for personal growth adepts. When will be the suffering over? These are easy examples. How about the permanent impatience for your value to be confirmed? Your worth as a being. Their deep, constant impatience is the same as a momentary impatience, but the moment is your entire life. When you have a phrase, when will people grow up? It is an eternal impatience that we have for others to do personal growth so we don't have to. It's like looking at the news, the comments on Facebook, and when will people even learn? Deeply hoping that we will have a break from working on ourselves or from evolving. If others become perfect in my imaginary standards, I will not have to. Impatience in this sense is narcissistic. It's based on the evil part of us. There's no good and evil, it's a metaphor. Part of us believe in being evil anyway. So that impatience goes deep. When you have a surface impatience, just a momentary event, it is only a projection on the surface of those deep, permanent impatience we have, waiting for perfection to happen. Perfection obviously based on illusions. Waiting for ascension, for Buddhahood, even after Buddhahood, I tell you. I would arrogantly say I speak from experience with this one. Be patient with that. In that sense, It takes discipline, courage, time to just observe the deeper impatience about existence itself. It's a way of not trusting evolution. It is a complaint about the laws of nature. Everyone else is so aggressing to us. Find yours. These flavors are subtle, fundamental. Takes time. This way we contemplate our narcissistic aspect. Egocentrism has a latent, constant influence. Projected on others, they're not evolved enough. There will be control somewhere. Impatience is about things are not happening the way we want. So there's control, obviously. It's not the deepest potential, but it's there. So it's good to be aware of it. Most of our life we will be impatient for life to happen. And at the far end of our life, we will be impatient for death to take us. This part of us is eternally unsatisfied. Those who can understand the next, consider it. Those who cannot understand the next stage, don't worry about it. Just let it go. The Diamond Sutra explains one aspect. If you identify yourself to an entity with a lifespan, you're not a bodhisattva. It's kind of a negative way to say it, but basically it means look at what you identify as a self, a being with a lifespan, or being alive. Okay. Those who don't get it, move on. Okay. This impatience is part of the identification to having a lifespan, being alive. What is yours? Just stay in it. Find that insatisfaction, this part that feels aggressed by every little thing. What about me? Control. It's a mix of so many potentials. Just let yourself savor it. Discover the flavor. Patience. Just being there. Embracing the soft intensity as a paradox. Momentary impatience is a projection of those deep and dark impatience, the permanent ones. You will discover with time all these combinations of impatiences, all these different masks involved, a dance of complex mechanics. It's not just one thing, it's a composition, always. It is what composes arrogance. It is your arrogance. Only you can find your own composition, how you are experiencing it, how it manifests inside you and outside when you project it. That's your arrogance. It's one method to reach it. This deep impatience with everything is arrogant. Find yours. It's a simple but deep integration. Good. Very good practice you're doing. I am satisfied. All right, relax that. Take a deep breath. Know that you'll have to come back to this practice just to dig deeper into yourself. But relax it. Let's move on to something else, different topic. Just calm yourself. Before we move on to something else, just calm yourself and be peaceful. Be satisfied of all the personal growth you've ever done. The positive steps you've taken in your life. anything that you can look back. I was less mature, I was less experienced. In the past, I was naive. I'm doing better now. I've grown. Can you see yourself as kinder? Can you see yourself as tolerant or more than tolerant than before? Contemplate the good growth you've done. A part of you will say, oh, there's so much more to resolve. Yeah, we'll get to that one day. Right now, it's about being satisfied of what is positive, being satisfied of what you resolved, being happy about it. It's a good pride. It is valorizing. We can trust ourselves more than before because we did do good things in life. We did do personal growth. We got better. Of course, there's more to resolve. Maybe there will always be. But we have successes. We can count successes, not only failures or mistakes. They're successes. That's a good thing. Good. Very good. Nice. That is all for today. That's it. Rewatch that class if you feel like it one day to help you delve into this deep arrogance using fundamental impatience as a thread to follow, and finish that integration by contemplating the good part of your personal growth. Be positive. Thank you for your time.